I'm MrMatthews, and today I'm going to be talking about the year 2021. I think we can all agree that 2021 was kind of, it sucked, and there's no other way to put that. And I don't think there's any indication to believe that 2022 will necessarily be any better. But I am a glasses half full kind of guy, and even though the world burned in 2021, for my channel, it was actually a really good year. I started out the year with just over, I think, 100 subs. And right now, at the end of the year, I am wrapping up with pretty close to 600. Now, that is obviously not record-breaking growth or anything, but that is amazing for me. That's far greater than I ever anticipated having when I started this channel. And what's noteworthy about that is that I don't promote myself. I don't ask people to like or subscribe or share or any of the YouTube-y things that we're supposed to be doing to drum up interest with our channels. I don't do any of that. I figure that if you want to like or subscribe or comment, that's your business, not mine. I'm not your dad. I'm not going to tell you what to do. But you guys are doing it anyway, and that is awesome. It's honestly very humbling. I never expected to have any audience at all when I started doing this. So to actually have that kind of support is just amazing. It really means a lot to me. So thank you to everyone who has helped out this channel this past year and in the years before that, in fact. And I hope to keep you all entertained at least a little bit in the next coming year, and hopefully longer than that. I don't know. So I just wanted to kind of touch on some of the greatest hits of this past year. Starting off, I guess, with Ghosts and Goblins. That's kind of how I started the year off. And after I finished up the Ghosts and Goblins episode, I decided to take a break. I figured 5 episodes in, that was a good time to kind of take a brief step back and kind of regroup a little bit. Although that break ended up being a little longer than I expected it to be. Although just about everything I did for the entirety of 2021 was in some way with the NES Hard series in mind. I did have that experimental phase where I was doing more of a Let's Play format. I think I played through all of the NES Mega Man games, and I think there's some other ones in there too. Let's see who this guy really is. I knew it! That was a fun little experiment. It was, honestly, I was just kind of screwing around, kind of practicing doing live commentary as I was doing the gameplay. And the idea was to kind of take the tutorial parts of the NES Hard episodes, which I always kind of felt just dragged the entire episode down, and put them in a different video and just kind of let the NES Hard series just be about these shenanigans between me and the game and the guinea pig. But those videos ended up being a lot better received than I expected them to be. I didn't expect to have anyone watch them, maybe a couple courtesy views, but people seemed to like them, and I had a lot of fun making them. It was a fun new way to experiment with a different way of making videos, and it was honestly kind of a relief to kind of take a more of a simplified approach to editing a video, since a lot of the other ones I've been working on were very time consuming. Something else I got sidetracked with this year was with the community video game challenges. Captain Algebra in particular was the main channel that had these monthly retro gaming challenges. I think that's actually what the name of his series was. And the first one I participated in was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Hyperstone Heist. I think it was a no death run challenge using Raphael. And I am a sucker for challenges like that, even if I have no expectation of winning. Just the act of competing is just ludicrously addictive to me. My favorite one that I did was for Geeks with Cash. Nick on his channel had a challenge where you were supposed to get as far as you can in the original NES Castlevania, using only sub-weapons to beat the enemies and the bosses. That one was kind of special because I had always kind of wanted to try to no-death run Castlevania, and this was a good opportunity to try to do that. And that is actually what I ended up doing for the challenge. I ended up doing the full no-death run playthrough using just sub-weapons. So it was a good way to kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone on that one, fulfill a personal goal while also competing in this challenge. However, I was starting to feel that doing these challenges was pulling the channel in a direction that I didn't really want to go in. I wanted this channel to be about just talking about games and making dumb observations and maybe a lot of arguing with popular internet opinion, that kind of thing that I just like to do. There are plenty of other great channels you can go to that focus on no-death runs and speed runs. And not that I'll never do those kinds of things in the future. It's just not something I want to focus on. I do think that it was kind of starting to detract from what my original goal for the channel was. So I spent the last part of the year kind of just trying to pull it back in with a more casual focus that I had originally started with. Now, around this time, I also started doing a podcast with Nick from Geeks with Cash. I've had the privilege of working with him and Mike from Next Level Gaming. It's called Retro Roots, and we are live every other Monday night, and we talk about mainly retro games, but also retro anything. So retro TV shows, movies, toys, and a fair amount of modern stuff also. And we are live every other Monday night over on Nick's channel, Geeks with Cash. Feel free to come check us out.
I'm not sure I can show this because
I actually
this is
have.
commercial.
I have that thing up on top, the bulldozer or whatever it is. I have it. That's crazy.
If Rob pulls out a Zybot, I am gonna flip out.
It's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be awesome. If he pulls out a freaking Zybot, I swear to God. If you've got a Zybot, dude, you have a Zybot.
I do. Like that's
Oh, crap, he has a Zybot. Hang
this
on.
thing is
Hang on, here we go.
That's the transformation right there.
Yes,
Kind of
that's
folds in
it.
half.
That's it.
There, and now it's
That's
now it's
basically, oh wow,
What
it's
is
a
it?
knockoff
I
GoBot.
was not the saddest
It's a
kid in the
knockoff
world.
GoBot. I didn't
Yes.
think. How? Why?
Now, as many of you know, I am a collector, although for the past few years I've been trying to focus more on being a gamer first and then a collector, and I have been playing a lot of new games this year. Well, new games. Now, one of my favorite games that I played this year was kind of homework for the Retro Roots podcast, and that was Toe Jam and Earl on the Sega Genesis. This was the first time that I ever actually had played this game, and I really, really liked it. I was surprised by how much I liked this game. It is a roguelike, so there's a lot of RNG to it, which is the point. And I just found that just savagely addictive and just totally entertaining. It has a great personality, great music, and I think it might actually end up being one of my favorite Sega Genesis games. Now, another Sega Genesis game that I played this year is Steel Empire. This is a steampunk style shooter, and it's not the most amazing shooter that I've ever played. I don't think Gradius has anything to worry about, but it was a lot of fun, and I thoroughly enjoyed that time with that game. Getting into more of a recent game, I did play through Fire Emblem Path of Radiance as I was doing the GameCube collection video. I've had this game for a number of years. I've never actually had time to actually sit down with it. I love the Fire Emblem series, and I really, really liked this game. And this, honestly, it probably made the video a bit longer to produce because I kept on just playing the game instead of making the video. So that happens sometimes. A really recent game that I ended up playing was Metroid Dread. This was a fantastic game, I thought. Probably one of the better, if not the best, Metroid game that I've actually played, which is high praise considering the fact that the Metroid series is probably my third favorite video game series as a whole, right after Mega Man and Castlevania. So I had somewhat high expectations for that, and it exceeded my expectations by a long shot. Just a few weeks ago, I was at the Sacramento Gaming Expo. I had the privilege of meeting John Riggs, and he was a great guy, a lot of fun to talk to. A very tall guy. Now, I am an average height guy. John is a giant, and he makes me look like a munchkin from the Wizard of Oz. But it was a lot of fun meeting him. He's a very friendly and down-to-earth guy. Someone else I met was Shady J from the Game Chasers. I bought Season 4 on Blu-ray, and Jay signed it for me. That was cool. I also met up with Omega Ace Gaming. He and I are fellow Californians, and we did a fair amount of game hunting around the showroom floor. I picked up a few things, nothing really amazing. Cybernoid, Bad Dudes, Narc, Fester's Quest, just some kind of cheap commons that I've been kind of low-key looking for. I think I got those for about $5 a piece. And the most expensive game I picked up was Shikan on the Sega Genesis. This is supposedly a very, very difficult game. And from what little I played of it so far, I can confirm that. It is difficult and not necessarily in a very nice way. However, I've always thought this game looks really cool. I love the art style. So I look forward to putting some more time into that. As for the plans for 2022, I already have a few videos in the works. I do plan on getting, as soon as I can, back to the NES Hard series. I've been working on the Ninja Gaiden episode probably since this past March, just in very, very small increments. I would have had it out a long time ago, except for I'm very lazy and disorganized. So some videos certainly take longer than others. But I do plan on focusing more on the NES Hard series in the next coming year. But I won't be focusing only on the NES Hard series. So there's going to be, I'm sure, a lot of things in the middle of that. So I think I've rambled on for long enough, so I'm going to go ahead and end it here. First of all, thank you to everyone who has stuck with me this long, and I hope to see you all next year. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Mr. Matthews. Goodbye.